This is Remix Report with your hosts, DJ JD and DJ J Spring. For the date of
April 21st, 2010.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Remix Report. I'm DJ J Spring.
And I'm DJ JD.
And we're coming fresh off JD DJing the Shrine Prom last night.
Good time.
Everyone dressed up in tuxes for the most part. All the girls had their prom dresses on. And they also had the prom court, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Where they picked the king and queen. That was kind of a little event in the middle of the night, kind of towards the end. But anyway, JD had to kind of mellow out the music for a second to announce all the people that were participating. And after it was over, it was kind of like it had come to like a dead point, and it was kind of JD's job to kind of build the crowd up again. So we kind of got to talking about some other situations like that, and we discussed it a little bit, and we thought maybe it would be a good thing to do today for our playlist Wednesday. Talk about how to get a crowd back when there's like a little event like that. And we discussed some of the situations like that, because of course that's not the only situation. So I think we're going to run through those right now.
Yeah, so there's lots of situations like that you can come across. Like, and a lot of times at Shrine, sometimes we'll have fashion shows, and that can definitely kill the vibe. You'll have, if you're playing like at a rock spot like Jay Spring and I play, sometimes there'll be a band and you're coming before or after the band.
Shout out to DJ Flip, who does the same thing we do sometimes.
Definitely.
In Hartford.
And also weddings, things like that, even where you're announcing the bridal party and things like that. And there's plenty of other situations too. Even if you're coming after another DJ, how do you hype yourself up after another DJ? So,
and there's certain situations actually that we'll talk about when maybe you wouldn't want to just come in and hit people in the head like that. So I think we'll let's get into these right now, right?
Yeah. So
start off with the wedding.
Yeah. So you're announcing the wedding party, the bride and groom, and everything, and yeah, everybody's all excited and everything, but then you got to hit them with a song that's going to get everybody of all ages out there dancing at the same time. You don't want to just go after a certain age group. You want to get everybody out there. So songs like Kool and the Gang, Celebration, We Are Family, and Chic, Good Times are really good songs to do things like that.
Now, what JD had talked about before with if you're playing somewhere that has a band, and sometimes maybe you're playing in between their breaks, or maybe they're just done for the night and now you come on, I would say you wouldn't want to just hit them with like crazy hard drums right after the band is done playing, because that just stands out too much, and it's kind of like just shows that you're just trying to like kill what they just did. But I'd say you do want to get the crowd into it. So if you hit them with a nice little riff, something like Sweet Child of Mine or Outfield, something that's recognizable. I mean, we talked a lot about those songs during the 80s sing-along playlist that we did last week.
Yeah, a lot of those songs will work, but there's some songs in the 80s sing-along songs that wouldn't work, like we were talking about Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Yeah, because it's just drums at the beginning. We're talking about you just want to hit them with something that as soon as it drops, everyone will scream because they know it right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and you, as he was saying with a band, you don't always want to necessarily show them up. I mean, if you're going after another DJ, which is the next situation we'll talk about, you kind of do want to show them up. I mean, the whole point of having multiple DJs is kind of to push each other and try and show each other up.
I mean, they were probably playing their hardest set that they could, so when you come on, you kind of want to do the same.
Exactly. But with a band, it's not the same competitive atmosphere. Like, they only have a certain set of songs they can do anyway, so you want to make sure you're not playing the songs they're playing. You might even, if you're playing in between their sets and they still have another set to go after you play, you probably want to check with them what songs are even in their set so you don't step on their feet. But yeah, the next situation is if you're playing after another DJ or in a set with a bunch of DJs switching in and out. And a lot of DJs will have intros to kind of introduce themselves to the crowd. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good. Sometimes if every DJ is playing an intro, it just like, you keep interrupting the flow of the night. Sometimes people just want you to want to dance. They just want you to like mix in and out.
But if you feel the need where you do have to play your intro, that's another situation where you got to hit him in the head right after it.
Exactly.
So we came up with a little list of songs, just a small list in general, to give you guys an idea of the songs we're talking about, where you can just, if it was just silence at a place for whatever reason, you could just come on and play and just everyone would go crazy.
Yeah, some of those, especially if there's a lot of ladies in the audience, single ladies always works every time, without a doubt. Gets their hands right up in the air.
That's like becoming a girl's anthem. I mean, it already is a girl's anthem.
Yeah, I think it's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, it is. It kind of surprised me. I thought that might be one of those songs that just kind of died out after a while, but I was very wrong about that. The next one that we had is Be Faithful, which, even though it's how many years old now? I want to say it's almost 8 years, maybe 9 years old.
No, it's got to be older than that.
Think so?
Yeah, it probably came out in 2000.
Alright, so I'm sorry. It's not 9 years old. It's 10 years old, JB. I'm sorry. Hopefully we'll get into more depth about Be Faithful. We're eventually going to talk to Sis and Riz one of these days, and we'll get to hear the story behind that. But 10 years old, it still might get the biggest reaction out of any song that you could possibly play.
Yeah, it's played almost every night at almost every top 40 hip-hop and open format club.
And as soon as it hits the intro, everyone knows what it is, and everyone just goes crazy.
Another one is DJ Kool, Let Me Clear My Throat. And I wouldn't even necessarily say his version. I would almost say you could drop just 900 Number by the 45 King, which the sample comes from. And I mean, that's what I actually do a lot of times. Just drop 900 Number and then you can mix something else over it real quick. But just that riff just gets people going right away.
This Is How We Do It by Montel. It comes in right where he says, "This is how we do it." So,
Yeah.
One good thing to think about is JD and I were also talking about this the other day, is when you're getting your music, whether you have DJ City or DMS, wherever you download it from, sometimes it's a good idea to have the original versions of the song. And I'm sure most people are doing that anyway. But don't just DL the intro versions, because you never know when a situation like this is going to occur. And when you want to drop a song like this where you haven't been playing music before, you don't want to drop the intro version, which is 8 bars of just drums. You want to drop it in how the song starts normally. So make sure you guys are downloading your regular versions too.
It's a very good point, and this is exactly that situation where you want to do that. Another one would be Usher, Yeah, which is also going to be around forever probably.
And In the Club by 50 Cent. Those are just good songs where, if for whatever reason the crowd has stopped, maybe some event was going on in the middle of the dance floor and the crowd is kind of around the outside, and it's your job to all of a sudden find a song to play that'll just make everybody excited and have everyone dancing again. And the songs we just mentioned, for the most part, should do that trick.
And actually a song, I just wanted to say this because I never thought I'd play either of these songs in the club, because last night was the Shrine Prom. Right after, I didn't use any of those songs right after like the prom court announcement. I actually played Boyz II Men, I'll Make Love to You for a slow song, and it actually went over pretty well. Everybody was dancing. At the last song I played was Casey and JoJo, All My Life, for our last song, and when I cut it off to end the night, everybody was still singing it. It was great.
So what did you play after the Boyz II Men?
After Boyz II Men, I did play This Is How We Do It, and everybody went absolutely berserk, so works every time.
Okay. So you can use our list. You can find other songs. Please let us know other songs that work for you to kind of almost create a dance floor out of nothing.
No, you reset it from where it was, because if you've lost the vibe, you got to get it back somehow. So even if, I mean, this could help if the last 5 songs you played absolutely sucked and you really need to get back into it, I guess.
JD was talking about what he would have done if the slow song hadn't worked out. And I guess any of these songs would have worked. That's why we call them party starters. I think that's a good name for them.
Definitely. Good name, Spring.
Thank you.
That.
So please let us know, remixreport@gmail.com, or register and leave us a comment.
Definitely. See you next time.
Later.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Remixreport.com.